Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. I love my Good day, everybody. How are you? Morning Talks with Ro is right around the corner. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Who's ready for Morning Talks with Ro? Good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday. Are you ready? Morning Talks with Ro is right around
drop
the
in
corner.
and leave you with something tangible to work with and practice, because some of the things you're going to hear right on a regular basis, but if you're not practicing it, it doesn't make it real. It doesn't settle in as wisdom, right? It doesn't serve you the way that it could serve you if you use the tools. You got to work this stuff. It's one thing to talk about it, right? It's one thing to be lip service. It's another thing to actually implement this into your life.
Where you at? Hey! Y'all ready to level up with Morning Talks with Ro? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And my name is Myron. They call me Sniffy. My name Myron Johnson. They call me Sniffy. They call me Sniffy. My cousin is Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm here to give y'all a message. Y'all better leave my cousin alone. That's what y'all better do. My cousin Umar doing good work for y'all. Y'all some stupid ass niggas, man. And y'all ain't giving the man no money. Y'all think because y'all gave my cousin a little money, y'all think y'all own him. Y'all don't own a motherfucker that up in here. And y'all gonna be looking real stupid August the 2020 when my cousin open up that school. Yeah, he gonna be opening up that school, and them boys gonna be getting educated. He gonna be doing more than y'all dumb ass kids. That was y'all.
Not to be popular. It's just I'm inspired by my brother, that reality Temple's brother, the most powerful voice on the internet, that reality Angel Snubbing Up 7. That's right, brother. I'm calling you out, brother. I'm building you. I'm putting you out there, brother. I'm shouting you out. That's my inspiration.
When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi. President Trump has already had sit-downs with the wrong representatives of the black community. How about a real discussion with a true grassroots African American? Join and organize Operation Exodus Mississippi today, or become a supporter.
Free your mind.
lot to cover. Only 15 minutes. So on this visit, let us get busy. All right. I know these pro-black, blackity black, first black, Nation of Islam, all these folks that believe that civilization is a good thing. Every time they turn around, I'm bringing something to us that shows, see, these are the things that make them feel good. They think that civilization is a good thing. Black people, the black man created civilization. Okay, and that's a good thing? Well, let's see how great it is. Let's check it out. Now, we do know that early human beings, and some of them still doing it today, early human beings led a nomadic life, just like a lot of animals. A lot of animals, during this period of the season, they over here, food starts getting scarce, the weather begins to change, and then they begin to move. They begin to migrate. And early human beings, ancient human beings, that's what we done. We were nomadic people. Had no specific place to live, just moving back and forth, nomadic. Now, as time goes on, I guess we get tired of all this walking, and we begin to settle down in these areas. However, the problem is the food is not going to be there. You're going to run out of food. That's the reason why you're nomadic, because just like the animals, they have to move because the resources dry up and you have to move and go somewhere else. And by the time you come back, all the, the resources is back again. All your renewable resources is back again. So now, I guess somewhere in time, the human being got tired of all that damn walking and running around, and they decided to settle down. Mind you, during this period of time, you was not working a job, you was not using money, you was not paying no bills. The only thing you was doing was just living your life. The only thing you was doing was just living your life. You didn't have to get up early in the morning and get in miles and miles of traffic. You was just out here living your life. There was no homelessness. There was no drug addiction. There was no alcoholism. There might have been a little rape, but I believe those people took care of that real quick. So you don't hear about problems with rape and pedophilia and all the things that civilization has brought us. Yes, civilization caused all this stuff. This happens when you begin to dump people on top of people and they don't have no wiggle room. And since they don't have any wiggle room, then they begin to turn in on themselves. So the first step to civilization is that you must domesticate. Since you're not going from place to place, then you learn how to domesticate some of your plant life and some of your animals, so you don't have to go hunting. You can raise your animals and you can raise your plants. You domesticate your plants, domesticate your animals. Another word for domestication is slavery. The beginnings of slavery was when you took a plant and put it in the ground and forced it to be somewhere where it probably would never be, for your own purpose. For your own purpose. These animals are living with you in these cages and around you, not for the benefit of themselves, but for your purpose. The purpose of a slave is for the benefit of his or her master. So that corn, that okra, all that stuff out in your garden, Those are your slaves. That's the plants that you have enslaved. The dog, the cat, the goat, the sheep, the animals, the cows, those are your slaves that benefit your life. Don't help them at all. And then in ancient society, we used to call our work in the family, something like chores. And the men did what men do because they're bigger. They'll go out, do the little hunting or whatever, bring back the whatever they hunted for everybody in the group. And the women went out and did their thing, took care of the children and things of this nature. Everybody did their specific chore for the benefit of everybody. Everybody was important, even the children. Everybody was important in this group setting. However, when you begin to become civilized, that means you begin to domesticate. And the work that women was doing once for everybody, now they're doing the work specifically for the man of the house, for the men. Men use their brute strength to create another slave, which is the first human slave was the woman. And woman's housework, woo, man. Remember, women's housework is called domestic work or domestication or slavery, servitude. Everything that everybody did benefit the group. But as civilization begins, you have dominant people coming out, because this is what happens. If you put rats in an environment where there's plenty of food and there's plenty of room, everybody get along. But with civilization, you enslave everything and you start putting everything on top of one another. And when you do this with the rats start fighting each other, problems start breaking out. Because even plants, you're not supposed to, anybody that plants, you know that you can't plant seeds too close to one another. Everything needs their space. But in civilization, you right up on the other person. This creates problems. And it created, out of civilization comes slavery. And when everybody is in this group and there's limited resources, then this group, this forming of this society or this clique, they have to begin to stretch out. So you have others in the environment that's doing basically the same thing, and your group is larger than theirs, and you want their resources. Most times, especially when you're dealing with men don't sit around and talk about, can we do this together? Can we come together? They declare war on others because they want everything for themselves. So they destroy their neighbors, and their neighbors become part of this society or part of their civilization. This is how civilization come into being. There's nothing civil about civilization. It was created by being uncivil, by crushing and going to war with your neighbors and bringing them in and expanding your territory. So now people, out of civilization comes jobs. Instead of everybody sharing the work, benefiting from all the work, now we have jobs, because some people have become dominant in the civilization. I don't have to work. I shouldn't have to work like that. Now they begin to not only enslave plants and animals and women. Hell, let's just do everybody like that. This specific group. My group is better than the other group. And so now you working for the benefit of others on these jobs. A job is unnatural. You're not supposed to be out here working a job to benefit somebody else. So civilization increases exploitation of other human beings, and it causes war and suffering and death. Now, out of civilization does come certain technology and certain education. Well, you can do that when you don't have to do no damn work. You can sit around here and look at the sky and wonder about the stars, because you don't have nothing else to do. You can sit on your ass and study other stuff, because other people are actually doing the work. So you have time to do that. So later on, and what happens is, when you was nomadic, you concentrated on things that was beneficial to your life. You had appreciation for life. But in civilization, now you're beginning to learn how to love things. And so you don't have nothing else to do. And you find these different stones and things and dress up in these clothes, and you make those things worth. These things that's outside of life become valuable. And the people themselves, which was valuable at one time, every man, woman, and child, now gold and silver and these things that are not alive become valuable. Because the people are nothing but workers and slaves. So civilization created materialism. The people don't mean nothing. It's about diamonds and gold and the resources and what I can get my hands on. The love of things. This is what civilization created. Jobs. Unnatural living circumstance. Constant war. And that's what we have had ever since civilization. Constant war. Constant war. Constant attacks against human beings. Constant rape. Pedophilia. People trying to escape things. They learn how to begin to use drugs because they're working themselves to death. Civilization has taken the life out of you, and now you working to get things instead of learning how to live and be in one with this planet. And so then we also have a white boy, these white people in a cave. They doing their own thing, living. But here goes some, according to you guys, some black folks went and messed with them because they savages. Everybody should be civilized, living this slave-ass life under civilization. And so you brought it to the white man who was just living a natural life in the caves or whatever he was doing. Oh, you can't do that. You're a savage. So you teach the white man, he learns civilization and his technology and his civilization, his weapons is greater than yours, and he looks down upon you, and now you're the savage. So really, black folks, I mean, you cause your own problem. Because the white man, according to your story, was doing just fine. He wasn't bothering you. You went over there bothering him, bringing him your damn civilization. And then, once you taught him civilization, and you taught him how to learn things instead of learning life, now he done flipped the script and made a slave out of you when you was making a slave out of your own people because you became a lover of things. And now, here you are in 2019, the white man is so evil like that. You created this whole big ass mess according to your own story. How dare you? You created this monster. Now we have to learn and understand, how do we get out of this mess? You created it. So don't blame him. This is what you taught. This is what you proud to say, we created civilization. Well, you created this whole mess. You started it.
Free your mind.
Man, I know some of these pro-black, blackity black, unapologetically black, first black Pan-Africanism, RBG, Moors, Nation of Islam, whatever you want to call yourself, Hebrew. I know they get so sick of my commentary because everything they love, everything they teach gets put out, and what once brought you high self-esteem, now it gives you, it makes you question, it makes you wonder. Like Arsenio Hall used to say back in the day, things that make you say, because you should say, I know you don't like the white man and the European teachings, and we become Europeanized and all that kind of good stuff. And that's bad because clearly we're not Europeans. Clearly we are of some dark-skinned type people. There's no doubt about that. However, if the teachings, if the knowledge and the wisdom is just as bad as the European, you're defeating the purpose of what we call trying to learn the knowledge of self. And you don't want to know anyway. You're perfectly happy with your teachings that just make you feel good, that don't pass the criteria of common sense, logic, being analytical, and so forth. You are happy. You are a happy camper because simply because you've taken the white man out of the equation. But your teachings is just as silly, sound just as dumb, outrageous as what the Caucasian people bring to us or have taught us over the centuries. So we come to this topic, very short video, want to get straight to the point. Now, I have nothing to do with the data. I'm not going to research nothing. I'm basing this topic on just the information that I saw. Whether I believe it or not, that's another thing. I don't know. I'm just presenting some information that I saw because if it's real, it brings an answer to our behavior as soul brothers or black men, however you want to call us. This would answer the question of why. Well, let's talk about it. Well, I saw two articles, or was it videos? Oh, well, the first was a video. And the video that I was watching was talking about dogs. It was not talking about people. It was just talking about dogs. And they were breeding these dogs. And what they come to find out, because they had black dogs and they had, white dogs, off-color dogs. And what they found out as they was talking about these dogs, they noticed that the more melanated, because y'all love to talk about the melanin, and melanin is so great, melanin do this, and melanin, all you have to do because you melanated, bullets fly off your chest and all kinds of great stuff because you melanated. I myself, I don't see what's so great about your melanin because it didn't stop. Melanin don't stop slavery. Melanin don't stop rape, pedophilia, poverty. Melanin is just so great. And you are dying. You die just like anybody else. You're not living no longer or nothing. So this is what we have to understand. Everything has a negative and a positive. Some of you You want to grow tall. Wonderful thing being a tall man. But if you ever get in a situation where you get trapped and the only way you can get out, you have to be small, now you are at a disadvantage. And the smaller man, now he's in a position where now he can take advantage of being a smaller person, not so tall. So there's what they say in China, there's a yin and a yang. There's always a positive and negative. But see, the way they teach us, these pro-black, blackity-black, black folks, it's just so wonderful being black and having dark skin. It's just so wonderful. You're the original people, and there's a positive and a negative. So they were breeding these dogs, talking about this melanin, and they noticed that the dogs that had more melanin was less aggressive than the dogs that had less melanin. When I heard this, I'm like, that could be the reason of why the strong black God warrior black man, y'all talk a whole lot of stuff, but you don't have that aggression. You don't have that aggression that you need. When you look at Caucasian people coming from Europe, you have the Greeks, you have the Vikings, you have the Romans. These people that don't have melanin like that, look at these men, look how the aggression that they have against other men. They got that fighting spirit. They don't care nothing about death. They don't care about nothing. They have that aggression. But according to these people that was working with these dogs, and the dogs that had this melanin, they say melanin made the dogs more docile. So I'm like, that explains a lot. And a recent study, go do your own research on it. Don't take my word. Because I know y'all going to be doing your research, trying to look up something to say that's a lie, that is false. That's good. But it has to be true, because it's explaining the behavior of soul brothers, black men, dark-skinned men. Yeah, you will fight and you will go to war and kill, but you don't have that fight, that drive like the European, who clearly has less melanin, and the more melanin you have, the less aggressive that you have. And you have to be aggressive if you seek to be a revolutionary. You have to have that aggression if you seek to be a liberator. Yeah, because you got to be able to stand up and fight. And y'all don't want to do that, because of the thing that you have, that you're so proud of, which is that melanin. That melanin got you docile. Now, I'm pretty sure you can override that by training, but the melanin is what got you docile. Also, they were doing a study, and I think I was reading this one. It wasn't a video. They were saying in their studies, they noticed that men with large penis are more docile than men with smaller penises. What's the stereotype? And it's real to a certain point also. The big phallus that the black man has. Also, did you know? I know in fish, like when I was raising guppy fish, the longer the phallus, when you're dealing with live breeding fish, it really was a disadvantage, because really it was in the way. It impeded the sexual contact the male guppy fish had with the female because of that long phallus. The ones that were short was easy. They took care of business. It was much more difficult. It's not always, I mean, the way we've been programmed, the big penis is the greatest thing in the world. Maybe it's not as great as we think. Something about it, maybe because that gives you an over-exaggeration of your worth. Because they made something like this in this society because we've been breeders. That's all we've been. We've been breeders. And so they concentrate on our physical parts of ourselves instead of we don't concentrate on our brain. We don't really concentrate on ourselves as human beings. We become sexualized, and the black woman has become sexualized. That's all we was. Have sex and work. Have sex and work. That's all our ancestors done as a slave. What do we do in modern day society? We have sex and work. Have sex and work. That's all you do. Go on vacation for a few days, and then it's right back. Have sex and work. Have sex and work. And then you see that your life is not going nowhere, so you got to drown this pitiful, pathetic life out. Let me get drunk. Have sex and work. Go to the liquor store. Have sex and drunk. Let me smoke some weed. Have sex and work. Let me get high. See? Do you see where I'm coming from? And then you have the melanin, which makes you docile, along with your weed and your drugs. And whoo! What kind of revolutionary can you be? What type of warrior? What kind of king? You don't have what it takes because you have all these factors, and you think that having the big penis is the greatest thing in the world. You think that having all this dark skin is the greatest thing in the world. My melanin, I got so much melanin. And now we come to find out maybe that's your problem, really. That's really why you don't have no get up and go. Because all your life is in your penis. And your skin color, the chemicals in your very skin keeping you docile, where you don't have no drive, where you don't have no get up and go, except to have sex and go to work, smoke weed and snort some cocaine and things. That's all that you worth. Of course, you will go out here listening to this video. You're going to go out and research and try to find so that you can say that melanin is still so great and the pineal gland and all this other stuff is so great. I'm pretty sure. But when you hear something like this, and when you look at the condition, for me, it explains, it gives me a reason why, a physical reason why you and I as men don't have that aggression, don't have that drive. We have testosterone, but we don't have, something is causing, something is interfering so that we can't be aggressive and move the way that we need to move. Because the melanin that you praise, that you glorify, that you put on this high pedestal, is the thing that's holding you back. In America, in Africa, and all over the world. Maybe that's the reason why. And you have to train yourself. It's not nothing to brag about. Like I said, things have pros and there's cons, advantages and disadvantages. In this case, even though this is who we are, we have to contend with the fact, the reason why we don't have that aggression, we don't have that drive, we don't have that fight, is because there's a chemical that has many advantages, but it seems as though we are at a disadvantage because it's stopping us from getting that energy that we need in order to solve our problem against a man who is damn sure very, very aggressive, very, very dangerous.
Free your mind.
How many of you watch Sanford and Son? Okay. There was an episode of Sanford and Son when Fred sent off for this genealogy package. He wanted to find out, did he come from some kind of African king or whatever? And so this package came back to Fred, and he found out that he was supposed to be, that he actually did come from royalty, according to this genealogy package. And not only is he an African king, but he's a Jewish African king. He's a Jew. Now, in the story, we come to find out, just like we're finding out today, that genealogy package, that it was fake. Just like we don't want to believe that this DNA crap is fake. It's quackery. But, you know, y'all want to believe that stuff, so you just believe it. And that's fine and dandy. It's quackery. They don't have the technology to give you the results, give you the information that you really want, that you're seeking. They don't have that type of technology. The best thing they can do is, John, you're not the father. That's the best they can do. They can only go so far. They cannot go back hundreds and hundreds of years and all that type. They don't have that type of technology. But you want to believe, and that's what you're going to do. Belief does not require facts. And you know you're not getting any facts. But it makes you feel good and you want to believe, so be it. Now, Fred, in this story, found out he was a Jew. So Fred, I'm a Jew. He began to do his research. He wanted to be a Jew. What do Jews eat? What is their language? Fred wants to become a Jew. He's like, wow, I'm a Jew. Of course, he found out he's not. But when he thought that he was a Jew, or he was a descendant of Jews, then he started to learn. He wanted to learn more about the Jews. And of course, it's supposed to be an African Jew. But of course, on Sanford and Son, they went to a Caucasian synagogue, you know, Caucasian Jews. But nevertheless, Fred, he wanted to, basically what I'm saying is, he wanted to turn from a junk man, ghetto junk man, into this Jew. Because now he believes that he's a Jew, he wants to turn into a Jew. And this is what grinds my gears. These people that keep trying to force their black people is an African, black folks is an Aboriginal. They want to try to force that narrative on you and me. But you don't see them. You don't see them trying to be an African. You don't see them trying to be this Aboriginal native. When you see them, talk to them, they just like any other Negro on the street. They're not trying to be like Fred Sanford, because Fred Sanford thought he was a Jew, descendant of a Jew. Fred wanted to be a Jew. You are defeating the purpose. You idiots. You are defeating the purpose, making a claim that you're African or Aboriginal, but you're doing nothing to embrace that. So why make the claim if you're still going to be a Negro? If you're still going to be an African American? So why? And then you have the nerve to get angry at somebody because they don't want to be African. Yeah, hell, you don't want to be African either. If you are an African, what language are you speaking? I'm listening. Which African language? Who are you trying to be? They're just like Aboriginal people. There are all kinds of Aboriginal Native American people here, or was here. All kinds of various types of, even if you want to concentrate on West Africa, all kinds of different kinds of people there. Who do you want to be? And be that. So You need to start speaking their language, which you don't. You're not even trying. You need to start dressing like them. You're not even trying. These people are not even trying. You're supposed to look like them, act like them. You said that's what you are. Then be that. But you're not even trying. How are you going to get angry at me or anybody and you're not even doing it yourself? You have to speak their language and dress like them. You have to learn, not just learn about them. You have to become like them, be them, because you said that's what you are. I'm an African. Well, be that. Let me see how it look. Maybe if you show me how it look, maybe I might want to be an African. Show me how it look. Maybe I want to be an Aboriginal. And when we think about Native American people or Aboriginals, you think about people that used to live in ancient times. Rode horses, the medicine man, all that time. That was the past. That was people that no longer exist. That was the past. People have to evolve. People change. What do they act like them and speak like them now? But you can't relate. They're not even. Who is your? See. So who's teaching you? Who's teaching you to be an African? When you hear all these people talk about Africa or Aboriginal, who is actually from the continent teaching you? Who from the continent, who among the Native American Aboriginals is teaching you something? The ones that know the culture or whatever that's teaching you. I don't see them teaching this. It's people that just came out of jail some damn where that's teaching you all this African stuff. Where are the Aboriginals teaching this Aboriginal stuff? Where are the Africans that's actually teaching us black folks this African stuff? Where are the actual African? Where are these people at? I'm not talking about you was born in America and all this type of stuff. You self-taught. No, I want to see who are these people. Why you can't attract the people that you claim that you are? You're just making some fabricated stuff like those Hebrew Israelites. There's no Hebrews taught them nothing. They have a picture in their head and they dress like sheep herders trying to be some people that used to live in the past. That looks so crazy. Now, when you look at Chinese folks, Koreans, people from Europe that come here, the Mexicans, they come here, even the Africans, when they come here, they do what they have to do, and they go back home. They go back home. Many of them go visit their relatives. You are African, and you are Aboriginal. What relatives do you go back home to? Where is their home? Who are your relatives that you go visit? The best thing that you can do is go to Africa and be a tourist. You have no relatives there, none. But you are an African. The closest that the black man, soul brothers and sisters, descendants of slaves born in America, you do have African or Aboriginal ancestry. I give you that much. But the closest African relative that we have are the people of Liberia, because they are the descendants of slaves that came from America. But you don't care nothing about them. You don't talk about Liberia at all, period. And really, that's the closest to Africa you're going to ever get. So it grinds my gears, this nonsense and this anger. These people actually get angry. They get upset because you tell them, I'm not no African. I'm not no Aboriginal, nothing. They get angry and upset. But when you look at them, I don't see an African. When you look at them, I don't see a native. I see a Negro. That's all we see. You speak English, you go to McDonald's, you go to the local liquor store, you do everything the Negro do in America. You don't eat their food. That's another thing. You don't eat their food or nothing. Some of those African people eat termites. They eat spiders. They eat raw meat. Some of those people on the continent, they do that. Don't know a lot about what the native people done here, but I'm very sure. But one thing for sure, their diet, what they eat is much, much different than what the Negro is used to. And when we talk about Africa, these people know they're not going nowhere. They're going to stay right here. They're going to live. They was born and they're going to die right here in the good old United States of America. But you have African people, people from that continent, willing to risk their life to come here. They don't have, a lot of them don't have not one dime. There's people coming from South America, trying to come to America, don't have one dime to their name, trying to come to the United States. You love Africa so much, you don't see these people making no moves, trying to go to no Africa. It's all feel-good Black Panther Wakanda rhetoric. That's all it is. And you should be ashamed being a grown-ass person believing in this Santa Claus crap. Because that's basically all that it is. It's some Santa Claus stuff that you made up for yourself. If you're going to claim to be an African, then you do that. Be that. If you claim to be some type of Aboriginal person, then you be that. And you be that. Don't worry about other folks. You be that because you claim that's what you are. And be the example of what you claim that's what you are. Be an example of it. But you're sitting around here acting like a Negro, doing everything else Negroes have always done. And you want to try to convince somebody that's what they are too. No, that's what you are. So be that. I don't claim to be that. So-and-so, they don't claim to be that. Let's see what it looked like. That's too much work. And you're not sincere. Unlike Fred Sanford. Fred Sanford thought he was a Jew. And he tried to become a Jew. You don't do that. You're not interested in that stuff. Like I tell you, these pro-black folks, fresh black, unapologetically black and all that, they fake. They so funky. They just nasty and profiling, disgusting kind of people. Get angry. You're not even trying to be African. You're not even trying to be an Aboriginal. Got to have the nerve to be angry at somebody. Get the kick rocks.
Free your mind.
This particular question was brought to me, and I thought it would be something that we could talk about. And that is, what or who is an elder? Now, of course, we have our different and many opinion upon what an elder is. But one thing that we can agree upon is that an elder means older, an older person, someone who has been alive on this planet for perhaps maybe over 50 years, at least 50 years, an elder person. So an elder is someone who has a little age on them. I could be considered an elder because I'm over 50 years old. I'm an elder. I have seen a lot of things in that 50-year time period. Being born during Jim Crow segregation and watching our people during the late 70s and the 80s and so forth. I've seen and experienced some things, and not only our activity as a people in this nation, but of course our own personal life experiences we had to deal with growing up. There are many of us who don't live to be called an elder. There are many of my classmates, and there are people that I know of who passed this life. They transitioned this life, you know, well, you don't know, I'm telling you, when they were in their 20s or 30s or so forth. They would not be considered an elder. Actually, an elder could be just somebody that's older than you. If you are 5 years old and somebody's 18 years old, that's your elder. They have a long period of time over you. But I think the question was brought to me is, when is it that it could be called disrespect of an elder? Do all elders deserve respect? And this is what I, as an elder myself, really, we should all, not only an elder, but we should respect everybody, not just an elder, even the little baby that just got here. We should all have a certain respect for one another. Not just because I'm an elder. Don't give me special privileges because I'm older. But we should all have a certain respect for everybody. For every man, woman, child should be respected. So respect, respect is something that all should get. But now we think that just because somebody have a lot of age on them, they're supposed to be treated special. I'm not into that. I'm not into that, because some of us, just because some of us were able to get a little age on us, don't mean that we deserve respect. Don't really mean that we're elder in that sense. When we speak about an elder, we speak about somebody who has matured, somebody who have learned and gotten wisdom due to their life experience. They have a certain maturity. But you and I both know there are elders, there are people that you would consider elders. They are childish, they're stupid. Some of them are drug addicts, pedophiles, and the list goes on and on. And you mean to tell me just because they are an elder, they're supposed to get this high respect? No, no, no. Like everything must be earned. If I'm not acting like an elder, now it's not about whether you like what I say or not. Now, don't disrespect me because you just don't like what I have to say. That's not the point. The point is my behaviors, my maturity. Am I expressing myself as though I've learned something in my damn life? There are elders, so-called elders, who would tell young people, don't do what you see me do, do as I tell you. That's one of the most dumbest things I ever heard. You want them to do certain things that you don't want to do. So, why is my nose itching? I must be getting ready to get some kind of money. But that type of statement makes somebody want to do what you're doing because what are you trying to hide? Why is it good enough for you but not good enough for me? An elder would not do that. An elder would be an example for whatever that elder is trying to bring to that child. Because the elder learned that lesson a long time ago. So if you're not learning from your own experience, from your own bad mistakes, how are you going to tell somebody else? And you're doing the same thing over and over again. You haven't learned nothing. What kind of elder are you? I was watching this interview with Eric Muhammad, and he was very, very angry at young Pharaoh. Talk about you still have the milk on your mouth. You're too young to be talking about Minister Farrakhan. See, what kind of elder is that? Nobody is above scrutiny. Nobody. Elder, child, nobody is above scrutiny. Nobody is too young to question an elder. What's up? The young people have the right. Young Pharaoh has the right. Not only does he have the right, he done his research, whether you agree with his conclusions or not. He's done his research. He knows what he's talking about. No elder is above scrutiny. You can scrutinize me. It's not about do I like what your opinion or nothing like that, but they have the right to question your opinion and what you do. You're an elder, but look at your actions and look at your behaviors. What you producing. Here we are, we're supposed to have respect for our elders, and their elders have not produced nothing since the civil rights era. Nothing. And you wonder why these younger people are upset. Because you're supposed to be an elder, you're supposed to be a parent. Parents are supposed to provide for their children, and we're supposed to be the elders now and have not prepared, not giving these children nothing. But yet they're supposed to come to you. Oh, Farrakhan had 1 million man marks. Okay, so where's the houses? Where's the houses, the apartments, the farmlands, and the businesses, and the things that we need in order to survive? Where is that this 1 million man march produced? Because if you've done all these things, if the elders produce something, then I'm pretty sure that the young people don't have too much to talk about. If the parent is feeding the child can't complain, I'm not getting fed because your belly full. These children, young Pharaoh, his people, his generation, their belly is not full. Then you talking about Louis Farrakhan, a man that run around calling for the death of another man. So if you can call for the death of another man, then you should be able to handle being called some stuff also. You call for murder. At least ain't nobody calling for your murder. This elder's running around calling for the death and calling other people names. He's a hypocrite. You're a traitor. So-and-so deserve death. Well, if that elder can go around here and talk like that, then that elder can also accept the same type of commentary towards him or herself. These young people can judge their elders because these elders clearly have not done nothing. Just like you judge your own parents. Many of you blame your parents. Well, mama, if you had done this, daddy, if you had done that, I would. You blame your parents for stuff. Your elders, they are your elders. But because you put this person on some type of pedestal where they really don't belong, because we're supposed to be equal, everybody respect one another. Nobody's above one another. But we try to put somebody above others. Don't do that to him. And see, this is the other hypocritical thing. when young Pharaoh is speaking in your mind, disrespectful and negative, you don't like it. But at the same time, you don't open your mouth when they praising your ass. Oh, you can praise all day and all night. I have a problem with that, praising men. But you don't have no problem. You want somebody to praise your happy ass. How wonderful you are. How smart, how intelligent you are. Things of that nature. You like the praise. But the young people, you don't mind the young people praising you. But when you screw up, when you haven't done your job as a parent, and the children are only speaking out in frustration and anger because you have not provided a damn thing. They open up the refrigerator and there's nothing there except some ice water and some stale bread. Child's supposed to get upset. You, as an elder, as a parent, you have not provided. The only thing you provide them is some beautiful speeches and some hyped up debates and things of that nature. Can't do nothing with that. You can't live on nothing like that. The elders clearly have failed. You have time to do something different, but you don't know what to do. And so instead of trying to improve yourself, it's easier to call young Pharaoh names. That little dumb youngster, that drinking Similac and all this other foolish and silly stuff. That's why I say, just because you have age don't make you an elder. Some of these people have a lot of age and they are just as childish as somebody that's in high school, in grade school, these so-called elders. An elder should be mature. An elder should have learned lessons from their own life that they can hand down to our young Pharaoh and other brothers and sisters, and just be honest and tell young Pharaoh, hey man, we screwed up. How can I help you? Maybe there's something I can do to help you. Instead of trying to make mockery of younger people, why don't you help them? Because clearly you have failed, but maybe you have a little something on the ball. Maybe you can help them. Maybe if you stop being childish, maybe you can come up with, bring them a little wisdom that can help guide them in the right, correct manner. So no, just because you have some age on you, don't make you an elder. You old, but you're not an elder. You the elderly, but you're not the elder that we have in our mind as somebody who is wise and smart because of the experience that they live through life.